by PNG Family Health Association in partnership with the Ahi Hope Foundation. From April 24th to 28th, the team was in Yalu, then in Kamkumong from May 1st. The Massey Highlands Regional Coordinator for the PNG Family Health Association, noted a of people who presented with sexually transmitted infections during the clinic at Yalu village.
It was very overwhelming. The number of villages coming with cases like STIs, I call it a sexual reproductive health program. STI is one of them, family planning, and some other annual illnesses, hormone illnesses.
Momoan said from the 50 to 60 people seen in a day, between 20 to 30 of them have STIs ranging from ages 15 to 45. She believes this health and social issue can be tackled through awareness and education.
One of it is education. I mean, there's, people have to be educated on what's the bad side of contracting sexually transmitted infections and what will be the long impact on it. Yeah. So I think awareness and education is the thing which is it's lacking in the communities. I think the main idea is for the government to make available especially drugs, because drugs is one of the drugs is one of the challenges here. We can go out and do awareness and education and all this, but the problem is we face challenges with equipping ourselves with the drugs. The state drug is a big problem here because it's very expensive to purchase. To purchase a bottle of dinidazole or augmentin, the state drugs there. We purchase from the past, going for like 50 to 60 now, even in a small container.
The mobile health clinic is now covering the other 3 Ahi villages of Butibam, Hengali, and Yanga. The team will move to Wagang next week. The health program falls under the 2.5 million kina dividend that was recently presented to Ahi Prudential Development. Frida Kana, TV1 News.
As a means of improving collaboration and inclusive service delivery in healthcare, a memorandum of understanding was officially signed between heads of Marie Stopes PNG and Highland Inclusive Education Resource Center in Mount Hagen. The signing ceremony officiated by Heidi Brown, MSPNG Projects Director William Rouse, CIERC Principal Program Coordinator. Also present for the occasion were officials from MSPNG and staff members and teachers of CIERC. The purpose of the MOU is to develop and facilitate collaboration between both organizations in matters of common interest and to set out the areas of cooperation towards the achievement of their common objectives. According to Ms. Brown, the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade will be funding the services highlighted in the MOU and provided for their outreach team in Western Highlands Province, courtesy of the Partnership for Stronger Families program. Morobe Province will launch its measles, rubella and polio campaign on Monday, May the 15th. This follows the launch of the national campaign this week.
Family Health Supervisor at the Morobe Provincial Health Authority, Sister Patricia Mitiel, said the measles, rubella and polio campaign will be launched at the Hohenville Primary School field in Ley on Monday, May 15. For healthcare facilities rollout, it will be done within their premises or communities. The Morobe Provincial Health Authority has 53 recognized healthcare facilities that will work with them on this campaign. The campaign continues to June 16th. It is a preventative campaign for children's vaccination. It does not have a COVID-19 vaccine. Sister Mitiel stressed that measles, rubella and polio can severely harm a child and can even cause death. The measles, rubella, oral polio vaccine and vitamin A are essential for all eligible children regardless of their previous vaccination status because it is the best way to protect any child from a severe illness. Parents and caregivers must ensure children under 5 get vaccinated during the campaign. One pressing issue affecting the campaign is the delay of funding, resources and materials to start the campaign on the date set by the national team. However, this has been resolved through the committed senior executive management of the Morobe Provincial Health Authority, and they are providing financial assistance to kickstart the campaign in Morobe. The focus is on advocacy, social mobilization and communication, and whenever the national funding reaches the provincial account, the team will consider other components of this campaign to have a greater impact. Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
Papua New Guinea Midwifery Society were proud to celebrate the 31st International Day of the Midwife on the 5th of May, joining other members of the International Confederation of Midwives around the globe. In PNG, the Midwifery Society has celebrated the day for the last 8 years, but it is the first time they have been given a space out in the open by the PMGH management, for which they were grateful.
The 8th celebration of the International Midwifery Day was held within the area of the ONG wing of the Port Moresby General Hospital in front of the Susumamas area. Although government dignitaries were invited, none showed up, but that didn't prevent the nurses from celebrating the day with female patients and their families. Sister Sitaing said they are requesting for positions of a chief nurse and a midwife in the National Department of Health Office to give the midwives a voice.
The reason for celebrating midwifery profession is to make awareness to the public of the roles that midwives play in contributing to maternal, newborn and reproductive health care. Their efforts, their line of duty should be appreciated and valued highly as they deserve our praise.
The occasion shared together by everyone goes to demonstrate collective expression of gratitude by everyone towards the hardworking midwives of Papua New Guinea.
Meeting the global standards of maternal and neonatal care will only be achieved through adequately resourcing the clinical setting and also by putting in place more efforts to enhance midwifery capability in PNG and providing the hard-working midwives with greater opportunities to further their professional careers.
Frida Kana, TV1 News.
Nazareth Center for Rehabilitation will continue its vital work in Bougainville after being awarded an Australian government grant totaling 3 million kina. NCFR works in the autonomous region of Bougainville to respond to gender-based violence through safe houses, counseling and referrals. The center also works closely with schools, community advocates and churches on prevention programs and awareness raising among local communities through AROB. They focus on building non-violent communities by engaging with men and boys to bring about social change has been well received on the ground. The grants will be used to implement the NCFR community strengthening strategy over the next 3 years to pave the way for greater collaboration between NCFR and network partners to address social issues and creating pathways for non-violent communities. Priscilla Napoleon, Executive Manager of the Papua New Guinea Cancer Foundation, graduated from the recent 68th graduation of the University of Papua New Guinea with an Executive Master of Business Administration. Napoleon was a finalist in the not-for-profit category of the Westpac Outstanding Women's Awards nominated by Steamships in 2019.
Priscilla Napoleon has worked with PNG Cancer Foundation since graduating from University of PNG in 2015 with a bachelor's degree in business and management. While still being employed with the PNG Cancer Foundation, managing its operations from 2018 to date, She registered for the Executive Master in Business Administration from 2021 to 2022. She has graduated.
And we apologize for that. You're watching TV1 News. After the break, Cocoa Board to set up office in Simbu and mangrove restoration.
It was during and after COVID that really motivated me to want to take up life insurance. I think savings is very important, and I think One Talk Delight provides a disciplined approach to savings, and it's a good investment to want to think about the future, because it's always nice to have plans for what you want to do later on.
With you for life.
Whether we're playing sport, exercising for fitness, being active for work or play, just having some fun, or just chilling, there is one name we can count on that we know will keep us going strong. Skell Rice. Healthy, nutritious, delicious medium grain rice full of vitamins and minerals. Helps us maintain a healthy, active lifestyle so we can enjoy every day.
Skell Rice. Skell Life.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
Our journey starts with you. We'll be there from the start, right through to your life's adventures. We'll ensure comfort and make your safety our priority. We'll take you to memorable moments, no matter where it begins. And we'll get you there like we've always done. The 4th generation coaster bus, more than just a bus.
Right across the nation, we eat snack crackers. And eat trupla. All get the young planala with all you like him snack crackers. All you make him here, no PNG, one-time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
Welcome back. Kikori Secondary School was promised an improvement to school facilities by Mineral Resource Development Company. MRDC Managing Director Augustine Mano made the commitment at yesterday's launching of the computer laboratory, e-library, Wi-Fi and food at Kikori Secondary School. And we apologize for that. Mineral Resource Development Company is also working towards developing primary schools in Kikori District of Gulf Province. Managing Director Augustine Mano stated that a number of primary schools in the district will be given double or one-story classrooms. He said this investment will better equip primary schools to produce well-educated students to feed Kikori Secondary School.
40% we spend to the landowners as part of their dividends, but that 30% from our contribution, you're supposed to get it as royalty and equity. That is the money that people invest. We start all the primary school, Kayam, Kopi, Bala, Vaira, Babaguna, BC, Gore, and Omati. That 7.8 million will be used to build double classroom and classroom.
Kikori Secondary School in the Gulf Province was promised by Mineral Resource Development Company. MRDC Managing Director Augustine Mano made the commitment at yesterday's launching of the computer laboratory, a library, Wi-Fi, and food at Kikori Secondary School. Mineral Resource Development Company has promised new facilities to boost teaching and learning for students and staff of Kikori Secondary School in the Gulf Province. Managing Director of MRDC Augustine Mano gave this promise of development in the school in front of teachers, parents, local villagers and students of KSS.
Last year when I saw the results from Kikori High School compared to the rest of Papua New Guinea, it was very, very sad because it was right down at the bottom. And I asked myself the question, what have I done? What can I do? What can we do to make sure that we don't leave the people of Kikori behind, but they must catch up with the rest of the country?
Mano shared that when the highway comes in, the social economy will be greatly impacted because Kikori will be the hub of the highlands and the people must not be left behind.
Justice to the people of Kikori is to educate the generation. We will make a plan between PRK and Gas Resource Plan site. We will make sure that Kikori High School reaches glory. That is my promise to you.
He stated that MRDC will maintain investment in education to ensure a prosperous future for the people of Kikori. A 2 million kina investment was made to Mama Bank by the Rigor District Development Authority towards the Women's Microbank to support its women, girls and their families. Mining Minister and member for Rigor District, Sir Anopala, and the Rigor DDA team had agreed to partner with Mama Bank to bring in financial inclusion to their people. The investment includes the setup of Mama Bank Agency in the district for easy access to financial services and credit facilities to support the district's economic plans in empowering entrepreneurship in Rigor District. CEO of Mama Bank, Gunanindi Das, stated that the Rigor DDA and Mama Bank are prepared to consider the provision of loan facilities to borrowers through direct and through different available suppliers. This includes farmers who are unable to provide security of a type or in an amount which banks would be requiring in the normal course of its operations. The NAS Fund Contributor Savings and Loan approved an interest crediting rate of 6% to NCSL members for the financial year ending 31st of December 2022. The interest was paid on Friday, March the 5th, 2023. NCSL Board Chairman Ian Tarutia said the organization continues to strong income and profitability momentum despite a challenging economic backdrop.
14.9 million kina have been paid to the savings accounts of over 142,000 members of the NES Fund Contributors Savings and Loan. In a statement, NCSL stated that during 2022, NCSL paid an interim interest of 1.2% to members' savings, equating to 3 million kina. After statutory reserving of 20%, NCSL will be paying an additional 4.8% or 11.9 million kina in interest to members. Other highlights for 2022 were total assets increased by 9.1% to 312.5 million kina, revenue revenue from companies increased by just over 6.6% to 29.4 million kina, and net income increased by 16.4% to 16.1 million kina. NCSL Board Chairman Ian Tarutia said although the first quarter of 2023 ended with unplanned disruptions to member services, NCSL is confident that the actions taken have resulted in the best possible outcome for members. In March 2023, NCSL reported a threat to its MIS and took proactive steps to safeguard Fedimo, TVWAN News.
Governor for Southern Highlands William Howie has thanked an election petitioner, Augustine Rappa, for withdrawing his case today at the National Court in Port Moresby. Powerful also thanked the other petitioners who also withdrew their cases earlier.
Development is the main agenda for the leaders of Southern Highlands Province, said Governor William Howie after petitioner Augustine Rappa withdrew his election petition in the National Court in Port Moresby this afternoon. Governor Howie says this in a media conference today that unity is the strategy that will move the province forward.
Development is providing opportunity for someone to realize the full potential in life. When you bring a coffee factory and connect to the world, and you build a factory, and when you have opponents coming together to provide stability, obviously development will take place, so people will see the real meaning of themselves in community.
Governor Howie acknowledged Rappa for showing leadership for the good of the people of the province.
We talk thank you long Augustine Rappa, who said he joined this case long and long National Court. We talk thank you long Benakabu, who said he joined in this same link month redrawing case long and we got one election petition case that's all hangum stuff. I am confident that we will bring back all our opponents together, all our people together. We will go and stabilize now, get this service delivery through partnership with the district, so we got confidence.
Joe Cobble, another election petitioner, also withdrew his petition. He said he would work with Governor Howie.
Governor, welcome the decision of concern of Pastor Bennett. Following that, I was in a partner. And we look forward to you.
Pastor Bennett, same sentiment.
Again, man, can challenge you, but nobody but challenge you level with this challenge. So now, we like assure you also. Plus, atmosphere may make him condition play you can. Supporters blow you now, boy blow you some background review. You give him money working work for the last 15 years. You know Billy Mandla completed project. Those paper many can now run away now. Name no good work will come to you.
Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
Prime Minister James Marape says U.S. President Joe Biden will be bringing with him to Papua New Guinea a number of investors of the United States when he visits the country. PM Marape said he was advised in a meeting with Biden's chief advisor in White House last Friday. He said the advice came through that President is also bringing a panel of investors also who want to come and take up residence in the country and do business. Marape says details of these discussions will become clear as the visit of President Biden and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi draws closer. The Prime Minister said in a press conference on Tuesday, May the 9th, that Papua New Guinea's national interest as well as its regional interest will be placed to both leaders in the upcoming Third Forum for India-Pacific Islands Cooperation meeting. This is TVWAN News. When we return, a look at what's making headlines in the region.
There's a sense of pride when you're able to do something right, a financial decision that has just really good benefits. With BSP Life Insurance, there's that alleviation of that worry when you pass away. The benefit of the BSP Life Insurance would meet those expenses on behalf of my family. If you're young and you have kids, you owe it to your children to make sure they're not left behind when you pass on.
With you for life.
All One Talks adds some excitement to your festivities with the Flame Easter Bonanza. Win a slice of a whopping family bundle pack, which includes rice, sugar, flour, and vegetable oil, all in one go. Highlight this on your receipt and scribble your full name and contact details on the bag, and pop it in the entry box in selected stores across PNG. 4 fortnightly draws, 100 winners, 3,000 kina each. You don't want to miss out. This promotion ends on the 31st of May. Flame, strength and energy. Terms and conditions apply.
Hiya, Mama.
You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magical karugi up a big smile on face. Time for kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bungimyumi.
Tired of sniffing, sneezing, and congestion? Stop popping pills that don't help. Get essential vitamins found in nature through these supplements that are formulated to reduce the symptoms of common colds and flu. Boost your body's immunity with these supplements that provide a protective shield against nasal congestion, sneezing, mild bronchial cough, and sore throats. Walk into a city pharmacy and pick up a bottle of Nature's Way Garlic Plus C and Horseradish, or the sugar-free of its sugarless vitamin C tablets, and say goodbye to sickness. Available at a city pharmacy near you.
It went like a rocket. He is going to go for goal, and he scores it as well.
Welcome back. Documents have shown that in April last year, almost half of the ACT's foster and kinship carer cohort did not hold a valid working with vulnerable people registration. A whistleblower has lifted the lid on how the territory's Child Safety Department knowingly left children in potentially unsafe homes, with the government now admitting some carers are refusing to follow new rules designed to keep children safe.
The rules were designed to protect the most vulnerable, but a child safety insider reveals they weren't being followed.
It is a requirement that carers have working with vulnerable people checks.
Yet Freedom of Information documents show that in April last year, almost half of the ACT's carers didn't have them. They're one of several tools designed to vet unsafe homes. A former director of child safety says the department turned a blind eye to dozens of people working without checks. My instructions were basically, don't worry about it, where else is the kid going to go anyway? She says that led to children being placed in potentially unsafe homes, including one instance in the ACT where a teenage boy inflicted horrific sexual abuse on his younger foster sister. He physically and sexually assaulted her with an umbrella. I think that was the thing I'd read that pushed me over the edge.
We can have all the best systems in the world to enable children and young people to be safe, but unless a child or a young person feels safe, then those systems aren't even worth the paper they're written on.
The government says it monitors complaints of abuse in care homes every month.
Those numbers are low, but sort of less than 5 allegations.
In the past month, the government has legalised specific exceptions allowing carers to take in children without having passed the checks, as the country battles a shortage of foster carers. The ACT government says it's ramping up enforcement of its working with vulnerable people checks and now has an 85% compliance rate. But there are still a small number of conscientious objectors who are refusing to be registered to care for children.
Children and young people have a right, regardless, to be safe, and we should never let our finger off the pulse in terms of making sure that occurs.
Out of home, but front of mind.
The Northern Territory's acting police commissioner has urged the parents of young criminals to dob in their kids before a crime is committed as police investigate another spate of violence in Darwin. Michael Murphy has also flagged a major change is on the cards for the frontline officers in a bid to bolster the police footprint in major centers.
Can't get in.
It's not exactly the start to her shift this Darwin retailer was expecting.
It's great. I love Darwin.
The bollards outside barely putting a dent in the efforts of Ram Raiders' attempts to get in. Police allege a group of 4 in a stolen car were behind this morning's mess. 2 alleged and 13-year-olds arrested. Separately, in Tiwi, police are searching for an intruder who allegedly stabbed a 61-year-old man in the neck with a shovel before stealing his...
The mums, parents or the dads are listening, your family's involved in these crime types. Make sure you let us know so we can intervene before they commit a crime, before they drive dangerously in a motor vehicle, before they ram raid a premises and destroy someone's business.
The acting police commissioner fronted cameras today addressing the seemingly relentless spate of violence in the territory.
The downward trend across domestic violence, youth disturbances, alcohol-related harm is occurring. But you need to feel and see a change, and you'll get that from the Northern Territory Police.
The acting commissioner also revealed a major change could be on the cards for the front line. In a bid to bolster police numbers in Darwin and Alice Springs, he revealed recruits may no longer be forced to serve 2 years in a remote station.
So I think we need to remain contemporary in our thinking, adjust what the needs are for the community to make sure we provide that service.
The policy of sending everyone out of Darwin had the unintended consequence of stations such as Katherine and Alice Springs having a really high percentage of recruits. And that's not good for when people are still learning their craft and being able to work alongside experienced members.
The change would be a backflip on one of the first announcements made by Jamie Chalker 3 years ago.
600 young people have been charged in Queensland's youth crime crackdown. The Queensland government is making yet another pitch to poach police from interstate and overseas. It's offering $20,000 each to lure officers to the state amid a crackdown on youth crime.
Taking Parliament to the tropics. But inside the Cairns Convention Centre, home to the Cairns basketball team, it wasn't long before the political point scoring began.
When will the government allow the judiciary to do their job and remove detention as a last resort?
There is not a jurisdiction in Australia has that. So, Mr. Speaker, the opposition wants to go and talk to the UN about it.
Order, members.
Feel free.
Settled in the snake pit, the opposition's keen to attack on one issue: youth crime.
By what month Queensland no longer be the car theft capital of the country, as reported by the RACQ?
How many more times will Luke's ute be stolen before the Premier's youth justice law changes start working?
The Premier came prepared, spruiking high-visibility police patrols she claims
has heralded strong results in holding young people and adults who commit crime to account.
600 young people have been charged with 1,200 offences across Queensland since March. More than 70 have been charged with breach of bail. There was never any doubt this sitting week in Cairns was going to be a test for the Palaszczuk government's law and order credentials. The Premier wants to be seen to be taking a tough-on-crime approach. And in a move to further boost that, she's announced a new $90 million recruitment drive to try to increase police numbers on the front line. It will see police officers from interstate or overseas offered up to $20,000 to relocate. And a similar amount will go to paying the HECS debts of some university students to go through the academy.
We've never had such offerings before for people coming through the academy and into our organisation.
Amid a tight market.
The man convicted of one of Australia's most notorious acts of domestic terrorism has died while serving a 30-year jail term. National Crime Authority bomber Dominique Perret died in hospital 7 months after being sentenced to life for murdering a police officer in Adelaide in 1994. Megan reporting.
Dominic Perry died a convicted killer, responsible for assassinating a well-respected police officer by sending a parcel bomb to his Adelaide office in 1994.
He committed one of the most horrific forms of crime, a form of crime that today we would describe as domestic terrorism, and it took decades to call into account.
Perth-based Detective Sergeant Jeffrey Bowen was killed in the blast at the National Crime Authority on Adelaide's Weymouth Street. Lawyer Peter Wallace was seriously injured. Immediately, police suspected Perry, out for revenge after Detective Sergeant Bowen goaded him during an interview into his links to organised crime. Perry spent decades as a free man, but was finally convicted of the bombing last year after a 7-month trial, delivering justice for the Bowen and Wallace families.
I'm really pleased for them that they saw Dominic Perry successfully convicted for his role in this shocking crime.
For his crime here in the centre of Adelaide, Perry was given a life sentence with a non-parole period of 30 years, all but guaranteeing the 66-year-old would die in prison. A death that came just 7 months into that sentence.
Jeff Bowen was a a lot of sympathy for me in relation to the death of Mr Perry.
It does give the Bowen and Wallace families a sense of closure, with a decision on his appeal against his conviction still pending at the time of his death.
His death means that the family won't have to go through another trial by ordeal.
Slamming shut the chapter on one of South Australia's most notorious crimes.
Returning back to our earlier story, Priscilla Napoleon, Executive Manager of the Papua New Guinea Cancer Foundation, graduated from the recent 68th graduation of the University of Papua New Guinea. With an Executive Master of Business Administration, Napoleon was a finalist in the not-for-profit category of the Westpac Outstanding Women's Awards nominated by Steamships in 2019.
Priscilla Napoleon has worked with PNG Cancer Foundation since graduating from University of PNG in 2015 with a bachelor's degree in business and management. While still being employed with the PNG Cancer Foundation, managing its operations from 2018 to date, she registered for the Executive Master in Business Administration from 2021 to 2022. She has graduated. In addition, she is also involved in church and ministry commitments, choosing to live an active lifestyle through sports and caring for her parents. PNG Cancer Foundation was formed in 2014, purposed to coordinate cancer education throughout the country while complementing the work of the Health Promotions Division of the National Department of Health. Priscilla said the EMBA journey taught her a lot of great soft skills like time management. She was proud to say that managing the operations of PNG Cancer Foundation helped her put into perspective all that she was learning at the management and executive level. Priscilla is privileged to be awarded the Australia Award Scholarship 2023. She will take up a Masters in Public Health at the University of New South Wales in Sydney, Australia this July. She says her life motto by Genevieve Road, "No matter how you feel, get up, dress up, show up, and never give up." Frida Kana, TV1 News.
And that ends the news segment. We'll now have a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. And that was the weather forecast. We'll now have Terry Longboat on the sports desk after the break.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At Money Plus, we believe that every small business deserves the chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Our chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. With Money Plus, we're ready to go.
Mipla halivim wari belong you.
Acuna, it's fired across for Ocampos! And it's two! And Sevilla.
Rabio, always a useful target. Well, they didn't deal with it particularly emphatically. And Adrian Rabiot gobbles up the scraps. And Juventus.
The bees are buzzing. Oh, wow! It went like a rocket. He is going to go for goal, and he scores it as well.
My name is Peter Brown. I'm the branch manager of Atlas Steel in Port Moresby. I've been with Atlas Steel since 2013. When I came on board, we were working on a project with Digicel Foundation, developing classrooms, single classrooms and double classrooms. That's in Australia, but that's where our ideas are, that's where we're heading. So we love the work that Digicel Foundation do in schooling, and it's heartbreaking to see a lot of these children nowadays that they don't even get to school. And the ones that do get to school, sometimes the classrooms are falling apart. They don't have blackboards for the teachers to write on. They don't have desks, they don't have chairs. You know, that's pure zinc aluminum. Then here we have the colour bond. Unfortunately, in Papua New Guinea, men don't get a good write-up, but there's also a lot of good men out there. And what Digicel have done, they bring this to the forefront. They find the men of honour, the good men who are doing good things in their communities. And hopefully, with publicising that, more men see the example of some of the brothers, and they come along and start being better people. We will continue to support the Men of Honour as long as it's running by the Digicel Foundation. It's great work, and we're happy and honoured to be part of it.
Welcome back. In sports, the softball fraternity is mourning the passing of Gazelle Softball Club legend and one of PNG's best pitchers, Patrick Pilak. Pilak, who passed away on Friday, May 5th, inspired a whole generation of young softballers during the peak of his career in the 90s to early 20s to take up pitching.
The Port Moresby Gazelle Softball Club has paid a special tribute to one of the greats and true legends of softball in the late Patrick Pilak. Pilak passed away last Friday, May 5th, at the Port Moresby General Hospital, succumbing to a long illness. His achievements on the softball diamonds included being the best pitcher for the club, national side and the country at countless international tournaments. His character was one of humility, yet everyone in Port Moresby and around the country knew him as a destructive pitcher on the diamonds. Every softball player around the country has their own story, being in the batting box, facing late Pilak on the pitching mound. It was the most terrifying, adrenaline-filled couple of seconds waiting for the ball to be released from the hands of arguably the best fast pitcher PNG has ever seen. Late Pilak featured in almost all grand final wins the club has achieved. Out of the 18 grand final wins, he played 14 of those, winning for the Gazelle Men's Softball Club. Late Pilak inspired a whole generation of young softballers in the 90s and early 2000s. Every young boy who wanted to be like him will remember him at the old Bissini Diamond. In his prime, he was also known as a 9 balls per inning pitcher. Late Pilak was also known for having just one grip in his style of pitching. The movement and swing of the ball was determined by his left leg, short step or long step towards his pitcher. Pilak is survived by his wife and 3 children.
The Kokopo City Rugby League competition is on track to kick off its 2023 Rugby League season. It was officially launched on Friday, March 5th. 10 clubs have confirmed to participate, including the province's former glamour club Kokopo Muruks, making a comeback after being out for a season.
After last week's launch, Kokopo City League is now looking forward to kick off the new season with 10 clubs. The 3 new clubs joining this year are Ulapia Bulls, KBC Knights and Vunopope Tears, apart from the regulars Takubar Brothers, Kokopo Spartans, Kokopo Muruks, TN Lions, Kokopo Royals, Pomio Storms and Rabaul Panthers. The competition also have under-20 and women divisions. Kokopo City Rugby League President Nicole Kamara said it was not an easy task in trying to get the interest of rugby league back after COVID-19. Kamara said the staging of the KCRL Nines tournament 4 weeks ago also helped in bringing the clubs back. She also welcomed former Guria and Tigers coach Oscar Tonga, who is now the league administrator and games coordinator. As part of the association's plans to build capacity and raise standards, a refresher clinic for club coaches and trainers was conducted, which was an eye-opener for the new clubs. The participants were also given the opportunity to do statistics of the Guria-Wigman match on Saturday as part of their practical, which they can implement in their respective clubs.
Flame fighting in Goroka, Eastern Highlands Province, has supplied a handful of its talented kickboxers to Team Eastern Highlands for the much-anticipated clash of the regions next month in Port Moresby. These boxers have been training and are prepared to take the ring.
The fighters were selected to Team Highlands following a successful Flame Fight Dream Promotion trials last month. They joined others who made a team through regional trials. Fighters to bout in the senior division are Kaupa the Flame Omena and Joseph Amana in middleweight. In the under 47 kg division is 15-year-old Brandon Simbani, who makes his debut for the region. The only female is Ata James. She qualified to represent Highlands region again after defeating opponent Kelsey Cooper Inlay in last month's national championship. Flame Fighters' very own Kaupa Amena will make his comeback to the ring after 4 years out due to COVID-19 pandemic. The fighting club started in 2017. Since then, it has been taking talents in to train them. It survived the COVID-19 period and is still running. Omena will take on Thomas the Spider-Man Kagili in the 63 kg weight division. In middleweight, Amana will bout against Bruce Lee Tukupe and Aru Mafu will be up against Samson Kumbukon. In 70 kg female division, Ata James will square up with Drua Kumbakon. In the 47 kg weight division, Brandon Simbai will make his debut. The fight will be staged on 4th of June at Sports Inn, Port Moresby. Rex Litter, TV1 Sports.
NRL Round 11 kicks off this Thursday with a Storm Broncos blockbuster. There are some big games this week, including Panthers and Roosters and Raiders against the Eels.
It's surprising to see the Storm favoured to beat Broncos, especially coming off a heavy loss to the Rabbitohs last week. Playing at home is a bonus, but the Broncos are playing in red-hot form after smashing the Manly Seagulls without any threat. Friday night, Bulldogs versus Warriors. The Warriors played with good heart against Penrith last week. The Bulldogs have also struggled, which is why they are home Bulldogs. They need to improve, so take the Warriors to score in a close one. Next, Panthers looked clunky when beating the Warriors, but two-time defending champions still emerge with the win. Roosters has then looked much better, especially if they smashed the Battle Cowboys on Sunday. The loss puts doubts about the Roosters, who don't ready. The South Sydney Rabbitohs are one of the best teams in the competition, stand a win over the Storm during Magic Round. Playing with confidence, they should put away force. The Cowboys finally lived up to the preseason hype when beating the Roosters, so they should feel confident of beating the Dragons. The Raiders are steady going about their business and tipped to beat Eels, coming off a loss last week. The Sea Eagles looked horrible last week, so something drastic needs to change for them to beat the Sharks.
And that's sports for now. Cheers.
Thank you, Terry. And that ends another edition of TV1 News. Thank you for your company. Bye for now.
Bye.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.
Science is the best hope to find answers for their survival.
Our Truths of Conservation, streaming now on Outdoor.